Hi, this is Tom Pavlik with another YouTube video on how to work with eBird data. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use a browser extension to easily grab data from an eBird page and move that data into Excel. You may have noticed on some of the eBird pages you can create a target list, and there's really no way to download. There's no button to download to a CSV file or an Excel file. So I'm going to show you how you can grab that data very easily right from the page and then move it to Excel, and then from there you can do whatever you want with it. So we're going to do this in 3 very easy, not very technical steps. We're going to install a browser extension called Instant Data Scraper. Then in eBird we're going to create our target list. Then we'll load the data scraper and grab the data and move it right into Excel. So first of all, I am logged into my eBird account. I'm going to go over here and grab or open up a new tab here. Now I am using Chrome as my browser. This browser extension that I'm going to install is for Chrome, but it also works with Microsoft's latest Edge browser. It doesn't work with Firefox. I couldn't find the extension for Firefox or for an old Microsoft browser like Internet Explorer. However, there are similar tools. They're called data scraper, web crawler tools, and you could search for those based on which browser that you have. So the one that I'm going to install and use here is called Instant Data Scraper, and in this case it's specific for Chrome as my browser. So in this new tab, I'm going to go out and look for that browser extension. Again, it's called Instant Data Scraper. And you're going to want to look for the one that says chrome.google.com, and then just click on that. All right. Now I've already got this extension installed, so over here it says remove from Chrome, but if you're installing this for the first time, this will say install rather than remove. So it installs almost instantaneously, and then you can see all of your browser extensions in Chrome by clicking on this little puzzle icon up here. So I've got a couple, but we're going to be focusing on this Instant Data Scraper extension that we just installed. So once that's installed, you can go ahead and close this tab if you want, and then we want to be back at our page. So the second step here is to actually go create our target list. So in my example, I'm going to use a scenario where I'm going to Arizona in January, for example, and I want to get a list of all of the target birds for Arizona for my trip. So I'm going to go out here to Explore, and then from Explore I'm going to click on Target Species. Now I'm going to be predominantly in Cochise County, Arizona. And as I mentioned, I'm going to be there in January. So for my beginning and ending month parameters, I'm just going to go ahead and select January through January. And then because I want a target list just for Arizona state birds, I want to look for Arizona life list birds. Then I'll go ahead here and click on Show Target Species. And of course I get a hit list of all of the different species that I need for Arizona based on me being predominantly in Cochise County. Now you'll notice over here, or really anywhere on the page, there's no link or button to download to a CSV file or an Excel file. So I'm going to use that browser extension to help me do that. So once I've got my target list created here, I'm going to go up to my browser extension list and click on Instant Data Scraper. And it takes only a second here to load. And then I'm going to go ahead and make this window here a little bit bigger. So what this tool has done is it's gone out to the web page that I was on, and it basically scraped or grabbed the data from that web page. It actually does a little bit of deeper diving than that. you'll notice the columns here. Like I've got a column. This is just a column numbers and then the species. And then I see a web address or a URL here. And I see another one over here. Well, these correspond to the links that are associated with the species in the map. In other words, if I clicked on one of these species, it would take me back to the eBird profile for that particular species. And if I clicked on this map, it would take me to the web page that has all the sightings for the appropriate species. All right. Well, I don't want those. So this tool allows me to very easily delete those columns that I don't want simply by clicking on the X in the upper right-hand corner of the column. So now I'm left with the data that I want. You can see a couple options up here for downloading to a CSV file, but what we want to do here is download to this spreadsheet workbook here, Excel workbook. Before I do that, though, I just kind of wanted to point out that this tool can obviously be used on other pages besides eBird. And if you happen to come across a web page that you want to use this that maybe has multiple tables in it, this button right here allows you to toggle through those different tables that it recognizes on that web page. But we've only got one table on our page that we're trying to grab the data from, and I've got that down here. So now I just want to go ahead and click on my button for Excel, and you'll notice that it downloaded. Down at the bottom of your page here, you should see a link now, or a button for loading this right into Excel. If you, for some reason, don't see this down here, the file probably got downloaded to your downloads folder on your computer. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that, and it's going to launch Excel and try and load that data. Now I get a warning here. It just says we found a problem with some of the content. It's trying to load it, but I've never had a problem with this. So I'm just going to go ahead and click yes. And now it's loaded into Excel. Now it's loaded into Excel in what's called protected view. You'll see this a lot when you grab data from external sources. It's trying to protect you from any viruses. So I trust this data, so I'm going to go ahead and click Enable Editing. And then I get another warning from that tool here, and again, it's just trying to do some validation and repair some data. But again, I've never had any problem with it, so it must have done a pretty good job. I'm going to close this, and now here I have my target list. Probably want to widen some of these columns here. I can rename anything here, like I can just call this number if I want, and maybe this is just species, and then maybe this is my frequency, something like that. It's now in Excel, so now you can do anything that you would normally do in Excel here. Maybe I add another column here. I want to take some notes here. Maybe just recent sightings, do a little more research, and where can I find some of these items that are on my hit list. So there you have it, a very simple way to grab data from a web page and then load it into Excel. So I hope you got a few tips out of this, and look for future videos on how to work with eBird data. Thanks a lot.